name is Somdipta Ghosh, and today I will be talking about how we do the service management for the modern IT, and are we primed to execute and scale at the and speed at that speed. So, just to start off with our agenda, we will start off with introducing the product, which is Freshservice. Second, we will talk about what do we offer as such from Freshservice point of view. And then we will start with the product demonstration. Towards the end, we will open it up for the question and answer session. Just to start off with, since we are in a pandemic which is going on and planned for all our people, all our employees to work with. So most people think BCP is only about technology. Most people confuse the word business continuity plan with disaster planning. But if you look at it, then it is a perfect triad of what we call it as people, process, and technology, which is all involving IT. You think from a technology perspective, we should be able to provide not only to our internal stakeholders, but also to our vendors, customers, service providers as well. There are processes around the business which needs to be focused on, which is also important. And the most important thing where we need to focus is the people. Now, if BCP is ingrained in the culture like that of the startups, then we can see that it will be best if it is ingrained within the people. Now, if people never had a work from home option earlier, like we have seen with the government companies nowadays, and companies don't support this work from home, which is the new normal, then it becomes more of a difficult for the remote employees to manage it. Now, in order to be successful in this new normal, we need a balance of people, process, and technology. And we have seen that yesterday, the huge stimulus has been announced by the government. Now, India must also now aim to become like the third large global cloud ecosystem provider. There is enough local demand within the country. And this is I'm just referring to the article which was written by TV Mohandas Pai today on in the Indian Express editorials. And he was talking about how the enterprise grade cloud investments must make it to the SEZ zones, which is very similar to the UP government, which has incentivized the entry of manufacturing companies into the state. So having this cloud investment in mind and the cloud products in mind, this is the place where, as a service management as well, we need to revolutionize our systems, and we need to look more around the service management, which can address to the people, process, and technology together. Now, in order to do so, we have as a company, Freshworks offers a solution which is called as a Freshservice. Freshservice is a cloud-based, AI-enabled solution designed to solve service management requirements for the modern organizations. Now, Freshservice provides a breadth of capabilities in IT service management, IT operations management, and IT asset management. Now, it is built in both the IT and functional users in mind, where Freshservice delivers great employee experience by bridging the silos between IT and the employees to transform into the particular setup. Now, the question is it only about IT systems, or can we bring in many other services within a company or organization within a particular solution? Let's say it can be an HR management, it can be a requisition for an item, it can be requisition for some services within the company which we can address to. So these are the factors which we can incorporate within our solution. So that's an offering which we give to the entire world as Freshservice. Now, why Freshservice? Because Freshservice is a very uncomplicated ITSM solution, which along with the right product size capabilities and modern consumerized UI, which is basically evolving around our chatbots, automation, artificial intelligence. It enables an automated service delivery for the IT teams. Now, in order to enable such modern IT teams, we need to navigate through these new challenges which can help us to succeed in this cloud era, and that is Freshservice. So if I just go in details around the industry acknowledgements, the most important certifications which we have as part of Freshservice is that we are Pink Elephant certified. We are 6 processes verified through Pink Elephant, and we are also recognized in the Gartner Magic Quadrant, Forrester ESM Wave. We are among the top 50 mid-market products in G2, and we are HDI. We are also within the IT implementation and IT support awards. Some of our customers don't take our word for it. These are some of the famous customers who are part of Freshservice. And just to start off, what is Freshservice? Now, Freshservice focuses on mainly around 3 things. One is improve IT service delivery. Second, modernize the IT. And third, very important aspect, which is the digital transformation. Now, how do we address these vision statements? Is it only IT? If I add it up, we can do the HR. If we can bring in marketing, if we can bring in finance and facilities, then it becomes a holistic solution. Now, this Freshservice product is fully featured, very rich in the employee experience, very easy to set up, and it is extensive. Why is it so? Because we are providing a platform which is very user-friendly for collaboration. The APIs are available. We have a repository of APIs which can help you to integrate with any of the solutions outside. There is analytics, there is Freddy AI and automation within the platform. And what does it address to? It addresses ITSM, which is IT service management, IT operations management, IT asset management, and employee self-service management. Now, together, we offer this as a solution in the Freshservice. So under ITSM, these are the functionalities which we address to, which is incident management, change management, problem management, knowledge management, and the self-service. Under IT operations management, we are already into the alert management part, where we can receive the alerts from multiple alert tracking systems or monitoring tools. We can have a correlation for the alerts, and we can also target the major incident management. Under asset management, we have a CMDB. We have the complete life cycle for procure to retire. We also have the discovery probe, which will help us to do auto discovery of the assets which is present within the network, and the contract management and the software asset management, which we'll focus in the demonstration today. And finally, the employee self-service, which is around the knowledge management, and the self-service, which we'll focus as well. So we are basically focusing on 3 things: employee experience, admin experience, and the agent experience. We will touch upon each one of these aspects very briefly in today's demo day presentation. And this is the product demonstration flow which we will target. So we will try to focus on the ITSM space predominantly, which is around the incident management. When we talk of incident, we will do a service request as well. Apart from the incident, we will show how easy it is to create an incident as an end user. We will do the change management side of it. We will create a problem. We will showcase how the knowledge management is adhering to all these processes. And obviously self-service is one of them. So my demonstration today will be in 3 aspects. If I'm using as an employee, what do I see? How do I see it within the system? How do I represent my requests in the form of a incident or a service request? That will be a conversational interface and the self-service portal, which we will focus on. So the second aspect is around the agent experience. When we talk of the agent experience, once a ticket is raised from an employee, as an agent, how do I see it? How do I address it? How do I track of the change or the problem which we'll do? That is the agent experience. We will talk about how easy it is to use it, how we can have productivity boosters if we are using it as an agent. So we will see that flavor as well, and we will see extensively how each one of these in change management, problem knowledge, and the project management could be addressed using this part. And lastly, I will just take care through the admin settings, where I will just create a workflow and I'll show how easy it is to configure a workflow where within the Freshservice system. So this will be my product flow as such. And having said that, what I will do, I will just straight away go for the product demonstration. Yeah. So now I have come down to the as an employee. So like I have mentioned, first I'll start with the employee experience. What I can do as an employee. So if I just check out the profile, so I have logged in as a user who is called as Jagdeep Singh. Now, Jagdeep Singh is a project manager within this particular company. His details are mentioned over here, and we can see that. He can have options into 4 different things. So if in case he wants to take he wants to check the solution article, if he wants to have a check into that, he can do that in that solution article as well. So what we will do, we will just see how Jagdeep Singh uses his particular system to raise an incident or to track through the solution articles. So whenever he logs in, the chatbot gets triggered. The chatbot says that, "Hi Jagdeep, I am the chatbot. Welcome to the IT support. What can I help you with?" So this is the user experience which we were talking about earlier. Now, as a question, I say that I have a question. So the chatbot asks me, "What issues are you facing?" I will put up a request saying that laptop not working. I am seeing blue screen. Now, the moment I am typing this information here, the chatbot it will look for the repository articles with whatever I'm typing, and it will try to it will try to suggest me a solution, because as we know that we sometimes get restless and we never get to check any of the solution articles which is present in and around. Now, because we are all restless and impatient from that matter. So now what this chatbot is doing, it is search for the articles, and it will help you to say that okay, how to troubleshoot that laptop which is not starting. We can check into like can you ensure the laptop is plugged in, and etc etc. There are multiple points which has been mentioned over here. Now, if I say that was this helpful, if I say yes, then the chatbot will say, okay, that's great, do you have any other questions? So next time I'll just say, okay, laptop is not working and having blue screen issues again. Now it is showing me the same article. I can say that no, it is not helpful. Then the chatbot will say, okay, thanks for the feedback. Would you like to search the FAQ again or raise a ticket instead? I'll say that I'll raise a ticket. Now, the moment I click on raise a ticket, the ticket form opens up automatically, and I can paste that particular information. I can attach a file if I need as a screenshot. So if I am saying this is the screenshot which I'm attaching it, and I can say that it's an hardware problem. It is the computer, and the item is laptop. So we have this 3 different layers of drop-down functionality where we can pinpointedly select what is the item which we are getting and what is the issue with that particular item. So we are drilling down to the lowest most level. Now, the most important aspect. Now, if I say that I want to associate an asset, so that means I can associate my laptop or the assets which are allocated to me. So I am using Microsoft Surface Pro laptop, and this is the asset number. If I want to associate it, now I have that asset as well associated. So I can say that laptop is not working. This is the laptop which I am using, which is having issues. It is having blue screen problems. And here we are categorizing all the problems together. Fair enough. Now, if I can just submit the ticket, you can see that you can hear a clinging noise, and the chatbot says, I have created a ticket for you. Someone from the team should get back to you shortly. Remember, you can come back here and ask me for an update anytime. So if I just click on this particular aspect, this particular ticket, it will give me an update saying that these are the information which we have. I can reply back on top of this. I can have a conversation starting over here. I can add people to the list over here, and I can check whether I want to get it escalated or not, or expedite the process. So here an incident gets created. Now, if I just want to start over again, what all things can I do? If I just want to check for my tickets, Whenever I have raised a ticket, unresolved tickets, you can see that the first issue is there. It is being processed and we are having some issues over here. So it is currently yet to be addressed to someone within the team. Now, if I just click on start over again, if I click on service catalog, there are multiple options which will come up as a service catalog. Let's say if I am looking for Microsoft Office 2019. So the Office 2019 comes up, the cost comes up, the product features, the picture, everything is present. If I continue, then it will take me to the next page where I have to mention for what is an employee ID. So if in case I want to keep a track of the let's say for as an approver or approval hierarchy, if in case I want this thing to be approved by my manager, that is also possible. So if I have placed a request, you can see that there's Office 2019 service request has been raised. If you just check the nomenclature of the names, an incident is created with INC and a service request is created with the name SR. Now we can just check all the start over, and if I just check on the other options, I can see that this is also pending as a ticket over here. So there is one Microsoft Office license and there's this laptop issues. Now this is from an employee experience point of view. Now this is a standard view. Now if I just want to switch to the classic view, this is one of a conversational UI, and this one is the classic view where I can report an incident. I can check for the tickets which are there. If in case an approval comes to me, I can check for a pending approval over here. And if I want to request for a new service, it will open up a service catalog, and the service catalog page looks like this. So we can have multiple categories. Let's say have hardware provisioning, if there is any cloud provisioning, software installations. These are more mainly from the IT side. Now let's say from an HR management, how can we do that? Let's say there is an employee onboarding process. If I want to do, I can do that. ID card is lost. If I want to reissue the ID card, yeah, I want the ID card to be reissued. That can be done. uh, Employment verification certificate, very common ask within the HR team. If we can automate that process, it's again a very important aspect which can be automated. If in case you're working from home, this is something which is very important. If you look at different data services, file restores, data backup, where you can involve different other teams who will help you with this particular aspect. Under facilities management, now there can be parking permit, there can be some office supplies requirement, there can be some meeting room, let's say a Zoom room which you want to be assigned to, or let's say a workstation which you want to get it assigned to and wants it to be delivered to your place. You can get that done. Now many times what we do, like we are right now sitting in one of the offices, but we have to go to the other offices and we do not have access to enter the premises within that office. I can all directly request for a guest access card sitting here on my system. Within travel desk, I can book my, now anyways travel is shut down, but again, if when this lockdown ends, you can always trigger down different kind of travel desk requirements from here and you can trigger it out. Under finance, let's say there is some payroll setup issues or some problem with the payroll, or you need a payroll to be set up for a new hire who is joining your company. You can get that done as well. As part of marketing, you can actually target the different kind of event registrations or email marketing campaigns or web page contents. You can raise a request for that. So basically what we are trying to do, we are trying to provide a service for the employees and which can connect to all the support functions which is present within the company. And that's where this tool becomes more than an ITSM tool. It becomes more of a collaborative supporting tool support for the services which we offer as a company. So this is the shopping cart experience which I was talking about. So if I can just go back to the page, we talked about self-service portal, we talked about the conversational interface, the chatbot interface, and we talked about the shopping cart. And last but not the least, in case if I want to look out for the solution articles, I can anyways come down to this solution page and I can have a visibility into multiple articles which are present. if you have this article defined well repository of information, then most of the employee concerns could be deflected through this FAQ policies which are there. Now, having said that, what I will do, I will actually go down to the dashboard of the agent experience to the agent experience. So we have just showcased how easy it is to configure the employee. Now, what we will do, we will try to focus on the agent part. Now, as an agent, what do I want to see? I want to have one dashboard sitting at home saying what exactly are my so how exactly are my tickets looking like, how many overdue tickets, how many tickets are due for the day, how many open tickets are there, how many tickets are on hold, how many unassigned tickets, and how many unresolved tickets based on different priorities, unresolved statuses of the tickets. Then under the leadership board, as an agent, who is the most valuable performer within the team, who is like the quickest to resolve the issues, uh, who is faster, who is very fast with the resolution of the tickets, and how many agents are available for this particular team. So these are like dashboards which are highly customizable. You can customize it to your requirement as such. Now, when I'm going to the next page, so this is the tickets, this is the dashboard. The next one is the tickets page, where I'm seeing that there are two new tickets which have come and one ticket is updated. If I just refresh it, it shows me that the first ticket is around the laptop not working, having a blue screen of death. So if I just open this particular ticket, I can see the snapshot which has come in. I can see the assets which it is associated with, uh, and what are the current other ticket properties are mentioned on the right hand side. So as step one, as an agent, the first thing which I can do, I can take up this particular ticket saying that I am changing the status to pending. This will be coming to the L1 team first, and I can, let's say I will assign it to Sinchen. Now, in case if I just want to have a tag over here, I can say that yes, this is a laptop. I'll update it. The moment I update it, that first ticket's first response is raised, and we can see that the SLA of that particular ticket has started. We have to close this in the next 5 days because it's a medium priority issue. Priority is defined based on the impact and the urgency. So urgency is something which we give it to the customer, how urgent it is for you, and impact is the business impact from the which is defined within the IT team. Now this impact is something, the combination of impact and urgency basically defines the priority of a ticket. We can alter these as well, that's not an issue. Now as step one, what I can do, I can respond him, I can reply him back saying something, or let's say I can use up the standard first page reply which we have. So let me just pick up this information. So thank you for reaching out to us. So this is something which is with respect to the placeholders which we have done, and we can have one template defined and we can reply it back saying send and set as pending. So the moment I reply back, if I go back to the employee as part of the ticket, you can see that the ticket has got updated, and reply from the person. So you can see that this has come down over here. So you can have that interaction going. Now, once this ticket is getting raised, what we can do, we can raise up certain tasks. I can assign some tasks to multiple teams if I want to check it internally. And if I want to create it as a child ticket, I can do it as a child ticket as well, where I will create a new child ticket for some other group or other team which will be checking out this system too. Now, we can also, if let's say there are set of incidents which are coming up with respect to some patch upgrade which has been done from the IT team, now because of which many laptops are facing this problem. So once we have that, we can always associate it with the problem. I can create a new problem, or I can associate it with an existing problem. So let's say I am associating it with an existing problem, let's say I will associate it with the second one, which is the PRB3. And so when I do that, automatically this ticket becomes a part of the bigger problem solving strategy, which is the problem. So that particular problem management is getting defined over here. So let's say this is the particular problem where we have associated with. Now we have come down from the tickets to the next one, which is next icon, which is the problems. Now under problems, we can see that what is the so if I just go back to the problems and then come back to the page. So let's say I'm going down to this particular problem which is mentioned, PRB1. You can see that unable to reach the server, and we have received an email already earlier on this, and we have created a problem statement where we are defining the root cause of the problem, impact associated with it, and the symptoms associated with it. Now for this particular problem, we have multiple properties. So I have this is currently in status as open, and this also goes through multiple statuses. We can say by when this has to be responded back. If there is a separate team which will address this problem, we can associate it with that particular group and the respective agent as such. Now once we update this, this particular problem is getting checked, and let's say after some time we have a resolution, we have a workaround solution, what we can do for this particular problem management. So we have defined as a workaround solution till the time we get a permanent solution. Whenever we add a permanent solution, then that particular solution becomes part of the FAQ. Now whenever we create this particular problem, we can associate it with the next stage, which is the change management. Right now, let's say this is the change, then we are going to the next icon. We have different sections, because from a problem we are associating a change, or we can create a change directly as part of the IT process in a proactive manner. We can define a reason for a change, we can do the impact management, we can create a rollout plan, backup plan. We can also create a CAB approval hierarchy within the system. So so let's say if a change is created and the change properties are again different, it goes through. So there are basically 4 types of changes which we can define in the system: minor, standard, major, and emergency. And let's say if I'm going on a standard, there is multiple statuses: pending release, pending review. If I'm just updating it to pending review, you can see that the first 2 stages are done. Post pending review, it will be the once we do the review, this particular change will be closed. Now as part of associations, we can check that it is associated to one of the projects which we have defined. So based on the change plan, we can create a project within the system, and there will be multiple team members associated with this project, and we can actually define that complete project hierarchy here. So the complete software development life cycle for a particular project can be defined, which can start off from gathering or validating the requirements, to the reviewing the requirements, design and developing the wireframeworks, development, quality assurance testing, and we can define the timelines with respect to every one of them. Now every task, if we click on each of the tasks, we can see that there are multiple subtasks which are mentioned over here. Now these subtasks can be associated with an owner, and once these subtasks get completed, then we can close down the parent task. This parent task is currently associated with a IT analyst called as Gayatri. Now once this particular task is completed, then we can go to the next steps. So if you also check, this is the timeline which we have defined for this particular task to be completed. Let's say this is from 2nd of December to 22nd of December, and based on that, we can also define the timelines and the owners for the respective project. So we can see that right now we are in the quality assurance testing part, where QA testing is going on. The internal testing is done right now. It is the functional testing is pending. It is being done, and it is currently being done by Somdipto. And if I have any comments, I can put up the comments. Testing is completed and issues are resolved. Once I have given this feedback, what I can do, I can change this to completed, and I can close this particular task out. So once completed, then we can go ahead with the next part of it, which is the release management. If we click on a release, this is the last step where we will be doing the build plan and the test plan. Once that is done, we will be installing the patches. And for that, we would be needing a window, a planned start date and the planned end date. And we will take up a window in between on which we'll be doing that particular activity. And that window will be the maintenance window, which we can plan it all in ahead, and we can send it out as an announcement. Now, if I just come back to the same first ticket page, and under the ticket management, there are also another tickets. Let's say if I just want to look at service requests, I can have the filters on the right hand side. Like say, if I just want to look at service requests or incidents, and with respect to agents, we can check it out. Now, let's say this is a request for that Microsoft Office 2019 license, right? Now, we have the employee ID defined. Now, we are looking for an asset which is right now in the requested state. Now, what we do, we will go to the asset page. So under the asset page, we can see that as part of the software licenses, we are having, this is the Microsoft 2019 software. And if we just take some time to understand this page, so number of users who are currently active, who are currently given the licenses yet to use it, how many licenses are total there, how many licenses are total purchased, how many are being used, and how many are available. So this is mainly around that CMDB and the asset management part, where we keep track of the complete assets. It can be an hardware inventory, or it can be the softwares which we are talking about. So uh, so let us look at this particular asset. We can see that number of users who are there over here. As part of licenses, we can see that this is the total volume of licenses which is there, and the expiry date is on 30th April 2021. And as part of the properties, we can see that this is a managed software, and this is a SaaS product, which is, and publisher is Microsoft. If I just have a look into the details of this particular contract, I can see that this is per unit cost is this much. This is the license key. This is the volume, and there are other details as well, which is like if I just, when is the renewal date, when is the so you can see the renewal date is 2021, and this is the cost, and we will be given a renewal reminder before 10 days. If I want, I can edit it as well. So there are multiple, we can terminate the contract, we can extend the contract. All the facilities are available within the solution. If I just look at the inventory, which I have just opened up, so there are, this is the inventory page, which we can see as all assets or assets added in the last 30 days. These are multiple views. Now, under all assets, if I say that, if I just want to see how many are being used by this particular end user, which we were seeing. So we can see that these are the three products which are being used by this particular employee. Now, there are multiple other filters, let's say with respect to location, managed by group, updated date, and things like that. So we can have a view into that as well. So we have also seen the softwares page, where we have clearly targeted that we have seen that Office 2016, and we have targeted how we can see the contracts for this particular solution. So under contracts, we can define multiple things. So the contract information is like we have seen it earlier. So these are the information around the contracts. So this is more or less from that asset management and the asset part. And lastly, we will just talk about the major part, which is around the knowledge base and the knowledge management. Now, we can see that there are multiple categories defined with respect to the knowledge articles, and it is very easy to use if in case under categories there are folders, and under folders, if I just want to create a new article, we can just create here as add an article, and I can just enter any article over here. I can test it out and I can save it. It is as simple as that. So the usability, again, from Freshservice point of view, is the most important aspect, because we want the system to be simple and we want the system to be usable by each and every employees. So that is the main motto of this particular solution. Now, this is around the knowledge base, and also for these knowledge bases we can have insights. We can view at multiple insights around all the articles which are present. So we were checking at laptop not working. We can see that this is marked as helpful for one of them, and how many not helpful, how many views are there, how many are inserted into the tickets, and things like that. So this is a place where we can also have insights of the particular article base to know that whether these articles are either referred back by employees or not. So having said that, I'll be going to the last part around as an agent experience. If an agent wants to look at multiple reports which are there from his help desk productivity, that is again something which we can see it from our analytics and reports. So uh, till the time the reports get refreshed. So this is what we have targeted. We have tried showcasing this here. Uh, and we have shown the employee experience. We have also talked about the agent experience. We will just talk about the last aspect, which is the gamification part. Uh, Under analytics inventory, we can see that how many, so these are all the, this is the inventory overview, the total assets which are grouped by, assets which are created by vendors. So how each and every asset is present within the system. And there are multiple slicing and dicing of that particular information which we are talking about. And total assets group by depreciation give visibility into that particular data as well. If I just want to look at help desk at a glance, you can see that these are all the tickets by user location, tickets by priority, tickets by type, tickets by source, average response time in business hours for the tickets. So these are all the important information which we can look at. So the last part from the agent experience is the gamification or the arcade. Quite mundane and quite boring to start off and just solve for the tickets. Now, in case if we can just gamify this aspect and have some rewards and recognitions attached with it as part of an organization, this even this mundane activity becomes much interesting. So let's say I have defined some pointing system, and over here I have defined, let's say, some quests. Example, I have created fastest finger first, where I am resolving 5 tickets in a span of 1 day and matching these conditions. And sharing knowledge, be a knowledge guru. There are multiple such quests which we have launched and which is present, and it is monitoring each and every agent on a real-time basis. Now, uh, just to add up now, finally, to go ahead and start with the admin experience, I will just show how easy it is to create or do something as an admin. Now, if you have seen the whatever tickets we are raising, all these tickets are going and landing up on the first raised, none of them are getting assigned to any of the employees as such, or any of the agents as such who will be resolving it. Now let us say I want to assign that complete thing to a team which is called as a L1 India, which is marked over here. I have done that manually. If I want to do that automation, is it easy for me to do it, or how do I go ahead and do that? So I'll just show it to you. So there is something which is called as a workflow automator. Let me create a new ticket automator. I will say that L1 India assignment to assign all created tickets to L1 India group. So any ticket which is getting created, we can have set up some conditions and we can assign it to the L1 India group. And let's say a ticket is raised. That is the first statement. This is an event which we have defined. And now if I will put up a condition, if the type is incident, that is a condition which I have put up. If it is a yes, then assign to group L1 India. Now I can also create another action which is like a type is not an incident, then I can assign to group service request fulfillment team. And then I can activate this particular flow. So this automator gets activated. So just in less than a minute, what I did is I have created a workflow and I have enabled that. Now I can also reorder which rule has to run first and all. So let's say if I'm putting, I can drag it up, I can drag it down. It depends on how I want to do it. It is pretty simple and straightforward. So if I just save it, now if I come back and create a ticket over here, let's say I go to the home ticket, home page, and if I want to raise a ticket over here, and I say the same, I'll say that laptop not working, and let's say laptop keys are not working. Description, I will just put it as once this part is done, I will submit it. The ticket gets created. Now if I just come back and check for the tickets, automatically this will be assigned to L1 India team. You can see that this particular ticket which I just created got assigned to L1 India, and the agent comes in a round robin fashion. So this is something which we call from an admin experience. We have done the drag and drop of it, point and click insights, and we are having that full control over the particular aspect. So that is all from my product demonstration standpoint. I hope that we have given a very detailed explanation around what this particular tool does with respect to incident management, change management, problem management. We have also touched upon project management and the release management part. We also talked about the solution article, solution groups through knowledge management, and the self-service aspect of that employee. We have seen it in three swim lanes. One is that employee experience, how an employee can raise a ticket, whether it is a service catalog or whether it is a tickets. We through service catalog we give that shopping cart experience, and we always have that conversational interface, and also there is the self-service portal which is available. As part of admin experience, we showed how easy it is to create workflows. We can define schedulers, proactive maintenance schedulers. We can define. We can create announcements. We can do the gamification part as an admin. It's very easy to do so, and very where it could be implemented in no time. As part of agents experience, I have shown it how easy it is to use. We just have to scroll down from the vertical bars which are present over here, and we just scroll from dashboard to ticket to problem to change to release, inventory management, project management, solution, reporting and analytics, and finally the admin. So as an agent experience, it is ease of use, productivity boosters which are present. At the first, we have showcased that the leadership board, and last but not the least, the analytics. So that is all from my side. I am actually open to questions. So thank you for your time.
Thank you, Samdutto. So we'll be happy to take questions now. We'll just give you 30 seconds time to key in your questions. Like we said before, please feel free to key them in the chat bar or in the Q&A bar that you see. In the meanwhile, we'd just like to quickly launch a poll to understand how you'd like to evaluate an ITSM solution for your organization. What are the sources that you look for? And this is a quick poll. If you all could quickly answer it, it will help us. All right, thank you. We'll probably move on to our Q&A. So we had already a question earlier, Sundito. This is about how, do you have an email ticket creation process? If I send an email, will the system create the ticket?
Yes, it's a native functionality within the system. We can straight away send an email that can be created as a ticket within the system.
All right. We have another question where Param is asking how are FAQs updated in the backend?
I think I have shown that, right? We just go to the solution articles. We can create a solution article. I think I've shown that uh, during the demonstration. We just go to the solution groups. We can add an article, we can add a folder, we can add a category, and we can create an article and we can publish it out. In case if you want that to be verified, you can save it as a draft, send it for an approver, and then you can submit it and you can publish it out.
All right. We have a question from Vijayan. He asks how asset onboarding is it default in Freshservice or is it a separate licensing?
Asset onboarding comes at it's a separate licensing as such, but it's very natively, it's one common solution.
All right. We have a question from Hira. So do you have the option to get the customer feedback on each ticket?
Yes, we can do that. We can do that. Absolutely, we can do that. So once we close a ticket, a feedback form is initiated on its own. And once the feedback form is initiated, you can share the feedback. If in case you're not satisfied, the uh, agent can look into that ticket and they can respond on top of it. So saying that this is the problem, I am not happy with the resolution. So a new ticket will be triggered out, and or the old ticket will be opened up automatically. So that kind of automations is all possible within the system.
All right. We have a product comparison question from Sujish. So he says, how do we rate Freshservice with Sapphire?
So both are very different products, and both of their architectures are completely different, Sujish. If you can get in touch with us in person, then we can help you to give the complete like apple to apple comparison. We can help you with that.
All right. We have a question from Neelupal. So in case a group handling the ticket can be distributed to the user part of the group based on some logic.
Yes, absolutely. So like you were seeing, right? I created a workflow automator. Now over there, I have created a condition. So there are three things. One is event, what is happening. Then the second condition is the second what type of the cell is called as condition, where we put up an condition saying that if that particular ticket is an incident, and third is an action item. So we can have multiple conditions defined based on your need. So that is very much doable.
All right. Some other questions. So is Freshservice available in multi-service provider mode?
Yes, Freshservice is available in the multi-service provider or MSP mode as well.
All right. What are the alert management tools that can integrate with Freshservice, like
Uh,
SolarWinds, Zabbix, etc.?
So, very good question. We are right now going ahead towards the alert management side. So we can integrate, so we can natively integrate with alert monitoring tools such as with SolarWinds, uh, Zabbix, Nagios, uh, and PRTG. So these are the four we can do it as of now. And as we go ahead in a few months, we'll be adding few more such alert monitoring tools as such.
All right. So here I would actually like to know more about the customer feedback form. Uh, I'll let you answer that whether you'd want to take that as a one-on-one or over here.
Uh, I can, so we can take it up as one-on-one, Hira, not an issue. You just reach out to Renil towards once the meeting is ended, and we can showcase how we do that feedback form.
All right. Quickly, another question. How do we automate the processes in the system?
I think I have answered that part as well. We can automate the process automation is one of the most important things when it comes down to the requirements from an ITSM point of view. And Freshservice is one of the best, in my opinion, when it comes to the automations of the in terms of the automators which we create. So we can create automations on the ticketing. We can create automations around the change management, around the problem management, around release, and we can also do the we can automate the processes around the asset management as well.
All right. Moving on. So where is AI embedded in Freshservice?
So AI, like I've shown you, the conversational UI, the employee experience part, that is a place where the AI is embedded, and also in the analytics front, that is a place as well where AI is enabled. And slowly we are adding more features where in the almost on a weekly basis where multiple upgrades are happening on the product. So this is very interesting times where we are right now with Freshservice, and we are adding up this to the adding this particular thing up very well in this AI point.
All right.
Also, I would like to add up the ticket field suggester is also that is where as well where the AI is enabled. So yeah, these are the places where AIs are enabled right now.
Sure. So we have another question. So in case of common services that a group is handling, can we apportion or distribute the tasks amongst the group members itself?
Uh, can you come again? Like in case of common services that a group is handling,
Yes.
can
Can
we
we?
distribute the task? The current distribution or the assignment happens on a round robin fashion. So there is usually the round robin assignment, which will help you to distribute the existing flow of tasks or tickets which are coming out from the like it can be anything. It can be tasks, it can be service requests, it can be child tickets, it can be the parent incidents which are coming in, it can be something as a follow-up process for the project management or release management which an agent is creating. So whatever processes come up to a particular group, it will be usually addressed through the round robin fashion.
All right. Do we have multi-geography, multi-group SLA management?
Multi-geography, multi-group, yes, we have. We can address multiple business hours from different time zones, and we can have multiple SLAs defined for respective groups. So because the L1 team is usually sitting on a it is sitting on a high timeline where, like, very high exposure, where the employees are continuously bombarding them with tickets. But in case if you think from a change management or database team, they have to resolve a particular problem. So we can have different SLAs for different groups created. Can we convert a ticket automatically into yes, we can automatically convert a mail into a ticket. That is very much doable, and we can see it within the ticketing system, that whether the ticket has come in as a mail or as a ticket, or it has come in from an email. It is a native functionality.
All right. We have quickly time for a couple of questions. So can we do employee onboarding process through Freshservice?
Yes, I think I've shown that part as well as part of service catalog items. So we can, it is not only restricted to IT's world, it can expand to different business functions as well. Like one of them is HR, of course, where employee onboarding process could be started off as part from this service system. So what happens in that employee onboarding process as on date? Let's say an employee is supposed to join next Monday, and the hiring manager can can create a employee onboarding request. Now, once they create an employee onboarding request, there will be multiple things which needs to be accessed. An employee number would be need to be generated. A payroll needs to be generated. Email addresses, laptops, ID card, then multiple background check verification. BGV can take up after joining, and multiple such activities. All those service requests would be coupled, everything will be coupled under this employee onboarding request. The moment the hiring manager creates one ticket, automatically all the tickets will be created and it will be redirected to different teams, and they can start working on it parallelly. So before the employee joins, the through a collaborative effort, we can get all the service requests answered, and once the person joins, it will be a seamless onboarding process for that particular person. So
Right.
basically it becomes the orchestrator.
One last question. Do we have APIs available to integrate with multiple systems?
Yes, we do have APIs available. There is, if you can just go to Google, and if you can just search out what are the APIs for Freshservice. The first link, if you click api.freshservice.com, it has the entire list of APIs. We have it as a public, so which is free of cost, and you can integrate with any system which is available.
All right. Thank you, Sundito. Thanks everyone for joining as well. I'd like to quickly launch a last poll to understand how you liked our session and if you'd like to have a detailed demo of Freshservice.